In addition to antivirus, intrusion detection systems are important. One of the oldest host-based intrusion detection systems is one called Tripwire. So we're going to take a look at Tripwire. By host-based intrusion detection systems, what I'm talking about is a program that makes sure that critical files and binaries or applications on your system don't get modified without your knowledge. Now, Tripwire takes the concept of security pretty seriously, so it's not just a question of we're going to scan your system and we're going to make sure that everything matches up. The thing is, we've got to make sure that when we run a check that we have valid and verifiable results and that they can't be manipulated after the fact by some attacker who's gotten in. If an attacker can modify your Tripwire results so that the next time you run, it shows that a file that actually has been modified hasn't been modified, then that's a problem. So we use encryption keys in order to help solve that problem. We need to create a couple of keys here. So I'm going to run twadmin generate keys, and we need a site key. So site key file is going to be site.key and then site-passphrase. I'm going to give it a passphrase here. Now I can run twadmin here and generate my keys for this. I actually already have a key, so I'm not going to run this because I don't want to clobber the key I already have. The next thing I need to do is create a local key. So I'm going to run twadmin again. I'm going to run generate keys. And then I'm going to say local key file in this case. So I have my site key file and my local key file. And this is just going to be local.key. And then I say local passphrase again here. And then give it a good passphrase. These aren't particularly good, but give it a good passphrase so that you can generate a key that actually has some value to it. So now it's going to generate the key. We actually have that complete. I do already have keys in place. This is the local key that I will be using, but I wanted to show you what the generation process actually looks like as well. So now we have a couple of text files, and those are going to be important for us. So the first one is twconfig.txt. This has a number of settings where we can change how Tripwire actually works. I'm going to leave all of these alone. These are just fine. They tell us the root for where Tripwire is, the policy file, the database file, and then we've got the report file, all of those things. So the next one I want to take a look at is actually the policy file. So the policy file is important because it tells us what we're going to be looking at. So first of all, we've got the TW binary location is user sbin. The etc location is etc tripwire, and the var location is varlib tripwire. So now we've got a number of configuration parameters. We've got Tripwire binaries. These are the actual Tripwire binaries so that Tripwire can know where it is. And then we've got a number of other settings indicating where important system files are located and the password files. And then we've got rule changes around system boot and various log files that we may not want to pay attention to. And then a number of other locations that we want to scan. So this policy is really the places that we want to scan and the things that maybe we don't want to pay so much attention to. So we use twadmin again in order to, and again, I need to be sudo. So twadmin create CFG file, and my CFG file is going to be my twconfig, and the site key file is going to be site.key, and then I need to give it the input file, which is going to be twconfig.txt. This would ask me for my site passphrase, and then it's going to write out my configuration file. So I've already got a configuration file written. I'm not going to do that. I'm also not going to do a policy file because I've already got that created. I do want to jump up to making sure that we have actually created the database and then run a scan. So you would also have to do the same thing for the policy file. So you would do twadmin and then create pol file, and then basically the same parameters. You give it the policy file, and then the configuration file, the site key, and then the text-based version of the policy. Now we need to create the database. So now I'm going to run Tripwire. In it, my CFG file is going to be tw.cfg, and then my policy file is tw.pol, and then site key file is going to be site.key, and then my local key file is going to be the one that was created when I did the installation. So when I did the installation of Tripwire on this Ubuntu system, it actually walked through doing the creation of the keys. And it was really just as simple as you give it a passphrase, you verify the passphrase, and it goes off and creates the keys for you. Now I'm going to do an initialization here. It's looking for my local passphrase. We are going to be generating the database with all of the initial values. So what it's doing is it's going through the entire file system, creating hashes of all of the important files, and then storing it in this protected database. Once we've got the initial file done, all I have to do is run tripwire -- check, and that will run checks against the policy and the configuration, and then check it against the existing database. So that's how you would use Tripwire to help protect your system against any unauthorized or unexpected changes to critical system files or binaries.